Go to college, and then my parents, when I turned 17, 18, got a divorce. My dad was an alcoholic, so all he did is drink and worked and lived in a camper at my aunt's house. And then my mom and Matthew went and stayed with a guy that she was dating. And so I didn't talk to my mom or dad a lot. And that was a very important time in my life because I was graduating and I always knew go to college, SAT, this and that. And I remember I had to ask my mom, like, can I take the SAT? She didn't do any of that for me. I always had to ask, SAT, college, can you help me out with this? And then they started borrowing money from me, both of my parents. And so in a very important time in my life when I was trying to get a plan and thought I was supposed to go to school for what I always thought I was going to do, and that just shit the bed. So I always thought that I was going to go to college and become a nurse, and then a specialty nurse, like either anesthesia or a registered nurse, something like that. And you have to have a 4-year degree and then 2 years of school after that for the specialty. So it's 6 years of school. School's like a full-time job, and then I had to support myself as well. So I realized very quickly after a couple months of community college, it's like, this is not gonna work. Working 40, 50, 60 hours, trying to have a social life and go to school, it just seemed very daunting. And then like, how am I gonna pay for this? I don't have any support from my parents. So I gave up on the school thing, and I said, I like cutting grass, and so I told myself at like 19 or 20 that I was gonna make a career out of cutting grass. And I knew that I was gonna have to work harder than everybody else and work smarter, and luckily God put me with Brian, and now I found a mission. So what I would like for y'all is to either, if you don't have a mission, and you like me and Brian, maybe find yourself trying to go on our mission with us and join us. But if not, before you leave here, before you quit because you found something better, before you quit because you started your own business, Brian and I want to help you guys find your own mission. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about is if you don't have one, you can get behind someone that does, or we want to help you find your own mission in life. Then, this is a little bit ahead of time, but I was thinking, man, if we're going solo, do we really have to change blades every day? And I was like, well, actually, one guy can probably cut as many yards as two were doing because you're just mowing, edging, weed eating, and blowing. Would y'all agree? Matt, Bailey, Gabe. Might not be quite as many, but it's still going to be, let's say if you did 12 or 14 with a teammate, I could see 7 to 10 getting done solo, mow, edge, weed eat, blow. So y'all let me know. I think March through maybe March, April, and May. So this should say June. Do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so 3 days. And then once we go to June, y'all want to get y'all's opinion. Do you think we should do them every day?
Depends on how it's cut last.
Yeah.
You should be able to tell.
It just depends on.
Well, we have to. It has to be. It can't be a by feel. It has to be a. This is how we do blades. So it would either be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, season long, or it'd be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, March through April, and then June, July, August, weekly, and then September you can go back to. September you can go back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I just wanted to get a couple of y'all's opinion. What do you think?
I prefer 3 days.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, but and then everyone's gonna get X amount of blades that they have to do per week. So that way no one has to sharpen any in the morning of. And if I'll come up with some sort of small, it won't be an earth-shattering amount of money, but you will get paid for the your portion of the blades that you do. So I appreciate y'all's opinion. I just wanted to hear what y'all thought. I'm still thinking on what we're gonna do. And then I want to walk around the 3 trucks that are mainly in operation right now: the Chevy, the Ford on the open trailer, and the diesel truck. and just talk about y'all's equipment and see what may need what mowers are running like shit, so that way we can get everything working good before March. Cool. All right, let's do that real quick.
Do I have 5 minutes?
Huh?
Do I have 5 minutes?
If yeah, I made that pretty quick. Yeah, you can get in there.
Awesome.
I had a question on initial mowing services. Are mowing teams doing that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They'll be the only ones that have dedicated mowers and things like that. The initial mowings, it'll just be the mowing component for the edging, line trimming as well.
Okay.
It'll just be an overgrown mow.
Alright.
Then you'll have the budget hours to do it.
Oh no, well, there's the dollar per minute thing. I don't know about that yet. Over the phone estimate, because that's gonna happen. You're gonna have
Gotcha.
someone say,
Well, we're not gonna do $1 a minute. We're gonna do $1.33. We're not gonna shortchange our people.
then we'll have to change that on the calculator.
So
Don't forget.
So if y'all, I know y'all probably don't check your email frequently, but Cody, Matthew, and Gabe and Bailey, I sent y'all, or it might have just been Matthew and Bailey, but for the optional Thursday morning meetings, or is it Wednesday? When do we meet?
It's Thursday.
Thursday morning, I sent y'all what we talked about as far as the budget tracker. I sent y'all the template that we can use. So before this Thursday meeting, see if you can just try to do the first week. If y'all want to do all of January that has happened so far, you can try it out and see how it works. Just the transactions, as far as you can go to your bank account and you could look at it and just type it in. You could, if you have a computer, you can download the little CSV file and copy and put it into the template, however you want to do it. But just go ahead and have that so we can check it out, and we'll continue on that part of the series. For people that make cash transactions throughout the month, you might want to write that down as well if you're going to be tracking, so that you don't forget it. Because cash is probably easily forgotten. But yeah, that was it on that. Did anybody actually receive that and check it out?
I
Over the
saw
weekend? You received it?
I saw
You
it,
received
just didn't open it yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna play with that. There's the best one I could find, and then as far as my last 2.5 minutes here, Jeremy's story, as far as getting behind, finding somebody that's got a distinct purpose and a laid out mission. That is what Liz is the second in command of the entire Augusta, and she also handles some other things as well as for real estate. She got aligned with Mike Andy's mission, and that has fulfilled her completely. Like, if you go talk to Liz, people that have actually met Liz, she seemed like a very vibrant, fulfilled person. So if you're walking through life and you don't feel compelled to do something every time you wake up because you haven't found your purpose yet. That's kind of, it takes time, and I'll just, here and there, whenever I mention anything from the Bible or anything spiritual, don't ever think that even if you don't believe, the message that at least I hope to be able to bring is practical and can, do what you want with it. But I don't ever want to bring a message and be like, oh man, if I don't believe, then I'm not gonna get promoted. None of that. It's just this is something I believe. I feel compelled to share sometimes, and I'll be very short. And I'm not good. I'm getting better trying to read it cover to cover, because there's a historical, factual thing, and then there's the meaning. So sometimes you have to go and read the factual like you're studying for a book to kind of get some hidden meaning, or to pry it out. So forgive me if I'm wrong, and you can correct me, but as long as the meaning gets through, that's what I'm going for. I'm not gonna try to recite dates or anything like that. So there's an apostle Paul. His name used to be Saul, and he was a crusader. He was killing all kinds of Christians. And then one day he's walking through the desert, and he sees this big shining light, and it says, "Saul, why do you persecute me?" And it was Jesus, and he was talking to Saul at the time. He was actually on the way to go kill some more Christians. And this light, he said, "Lord," lowercase l at the time, and somebody talking to you out of the blue,
Right.
you're gonna see that it's a power, right? And most people that don't believe, they still have a feeling there's something bigger than them out there. They just don't believe yet. You know, there's most people that are atheists still think that there's something out there, even if they don't admit it or not. Like something, I don't know what the hell it is. That's kind of like, you know, I can relate to that. You know, I believed in God, but I wasn't walking daily like that. But anyways, Saul's walking through the desert, sees this light, and he says, and he loses his sight. He says, you're gonna go to, and I don't even know the name of the town. I know it wasn't Galilee. Anyways, you're gonna go to this town, and you're gonna meet with somebody, Ananias or somebody like that. And so, in the same time, Ananias was a Christian, was a Christ follower. And God says to him, you're gonna go meet Saul. And he's like, whoa, God. That's a little crazy. He's been killing us, all of us. So no, you're gonna go to him, and you're gonna show him how to get his sight back. And it's gonna be a revelation to him. It's gonna change him. It's gonna be a revival. So that was the story of a revival. Like when Saul was out there killing Christians, and then he lost his sight, he went to this town. Ananias helped him regain his sight, and he said, you know, you're gonna do, there's something greater for your life out there. There's a purpose for you you're gonna fulfill. And if you read into the history, Paul ended up, after Jesus' death, preaching the gospel all over. I think he wrote Corinthians and Galatians, and a whole lot of the New Testament was Paul. And I just wanted to so there was a time in my life when I was walking through earth with no purpose. I thought knew what I was doing. I was crusading, if you will, and I had my own objective. And then one day, one event changed the course of my entire trajectory, and it put me towards this path. You know, as far as like when you find that purpose, you wake up and you go after it, and you get a fulfillment. So like everybody that's you know, nobody on this earth is all sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be evil in all of us, but once you find that purpose, it helps you to walk towards, you know, something greater than yourself. And so that was Saul's revival, if you will. I just want to share that with you. I'll share a more personal story without that on there. But yeah, I just want to share that with y'all. That's it.
Real quick, I almost forgot. We have in past, it's kind of cool, the picture popped up on Brian's memories today. We did a couple free cleanups in the past. One was pretty gnarly, and it was someone's senior project. But Bailey and Cody have talked to me and said that their parents could use some help with their yards. So it's volunteer basis. I've volunteered, I think Brian has.
Yep.
Whenever we have some free time, I think this Friday we will, and one other Friday in February. But this Friday, Brian and I were gonna volunteer and help Cody for a couple hours at his house, and then 2-3 weeks from now, we're gonna help Bailey's mom in her yard. So it's completely optional. I can't pay you for it because it's volunteer work. But me and Brian are volunteering our time. No one has to be there, but you're welcome to if you want to help.
I'll buy y'all lunch.
Yeah, Cody's buying lunch on Friday. Hopefully no rain, so that way it doesn't get pushed back to Saturday. But the plan as of right now is like middle of the day, end of the day. Middle of the day, get out there and put a couple hours in out there.
Cool.
So, and then Bailey, give us like 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll make it over there.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know like what needs to be done so we don't have to spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, we'll all get together, get all our tools, and then head out there. But let's go trailer to trailer real quick.